Hello everybody, this is Hmblittleman here, and I realize it's like a few days after the event, but I thought I'd just give my thoughts on Roadblock. You know, the pay-per-view. This is my first time doing something like this. I took notes during the show, and I thought I'd just go through the matches. I gave them my own personal star ratings. Just see how this works out, and if you want me to do more of this stuff, go ahead, tell me. Because I'd do this. I'd also like to review some older stuff too. Just if that's something that interests you, then let me know. So, starts out, New Day come out. This is, right then is where I, like, the stage is, like, really cool. I know it's just the house show and that, you know, they don't really have a choice but to use that. But I thought it was pretty cool. New Day come out, there's a podium in the ring, and they do the whole, you know, their whole spiel, talking about the WWE Tag Team Champions, you know, etc. They incorporate Bootios. No, they reveal a Bootios cereal box. This reminds me of, like, when Vince bought WWF and turned it into WWF and just started merchandising everything. Like, on some of the DVDs, like, Jake Roberts talks about how all of a sudden he went from being no one at all to having, like, dolls and blankets and all this other stuff and shirts and stuff. Biggie pretends to be a child and says he needs to eat his bootios or he'll be booty like Del Rio. Says Barrett is a king with no kingdom and that he doesn't want to look stupid like Sheamus, but they got nothing for Rusev, so they skipped it. That was funny. That was... New Day are consistently great. So Barrett and Sheamus come out. It's so weird. There was no real babyface shine. They just kept getting heel heat on each other. It was an alright match. It was just so weird. A cool spot. Sheamus caught Trouble in Paradise and turned it into the Cloverleaf. And then, I didn't see how. My eyes were not on the screen. But somehow Kofi rolled it up for a 2 count. And then hit SOS. And then, so Kofi tagged out. Biggie got in the ring, you know, did a comeback, picked Sheamus up for big ending, and he was about to, like, they were gonna do the, Midnight Driver or something? But Sheamus got off his shoulders and pushed him into Kofi, and then Kofi jumped and landed on Sheamus and then landed on his head, and it was absolutely terrifying. But Barrett kicks Biggie, pins him, referee is distracted by Xavier Woods, and then Sheamus goes after Xavier Woods, and then Kofi jumped off the steps and hit him with a bulldog of some sorts. And then Big E hit big ending on Barrett for the win. It was a perfectly fine match. You know, nothing really stood out, but nothing really hindered it, except the Kofi botch. That, honestly, without the Kofi botch, it probably would have been a 1/4 of a star higher. So I gave it 2 3/4 star. Paul Heyman cut a promo hyping Brock Lesnar. There was a lot of pandering to Toronto. Just on the whole show tonight, really. Then Jericho comes out, tries to get heel heat. It was so weird, because he said he was trying to get people to cheer for Jack Swagger by calling Toronto, first of all, an anus. So there's that. But he tried to get Toronto to cheer for Canada by saying that to cheer for Jack Swagger, sorry, by saying Toronto was Canada's most American city. Which, if you think about it, doesn't really make sense, because if they were so, if that was the intent, then why wouldn't Toronto be like, no, we're not American, we'll prove it by booing this fucker, you know? I don't know, I thought it was kind of weird. So then Jack Swagger came out and had a match with Jericho. First of all, Swagger seemed way too pissed about what Jericho said. Jericho called them stupid for coming up with We the People, which, by the way, Swagger didn't even come up with. It was Zeb Coulter. I mean, it was just really awkward, the match. It seemed like they were really going through the motions, and the crowd stopped caring really early, and anyway, Jericho submitted Jack Swagger with the Walls of Jericho, and I guess technically it was alright, but there was so little heat, and really it was terrible in terms of storytelling. I gave it a star and 3/4. Next we had Enzo and Cass versus The Revival for the NXT Tag Team Championship. I am a massive fan of Enzo and Cass. They are one of the 4 wrestling shirts that I own. Their How You Doing shirt, along with Sami Zayn, Bray Wyatt, and Sheamus from like 2011. They started out with some simple heel double teaming, but then like Enzo tagged Cass, and Cass went wild on Wilder. It's so weird to hear JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton call an NXT match. There's something just not right about that. Oh, also, by the way, this is my first time hearing the Mechanics theme. It sounds like a Macho Man rap. Like someone who doesn't do a very good Macho Man impression reciting a Macho Man rap. Let's see, what are some... Oh, there was this really cool spot where Enzo was getting beat up in the Mechanics corner, and Enzo crawled out of the ring, got back in the ring, and went to go make a hot tag, but Scott Dawson just fucking pounced on him and like threw him out of the ring with the sheer force of his body. It was actually like really cool. So then Enzo tagged out to Cass when Scott Dawson missed a Tree of Woe crossbody. Cass is a really good hot tag. Does a lot of good power moves. You know, that's one thing NXT is really good about, because Jason Jordan. I'd say of the current day WWE, Jason Jordan is the greatest hot tag in all of tag teams. He's like really good with that. Cass hit East River Crossing on Wilder and goes to rocket launch Enzo, but Dawson trips Enzo's leg. I wrote ass here. Whoops, I mean Cass. Cass goes after... Something was wrong with the C key, because then I wrote Armella. Anyway, Cass goes after Dawson, and Scott holds Carmella hostage. Carmella gets out, slaps Dawson, and Revival hit their finish on Cass on the outside. Why wasn't it a DQ if Carmella slapped Dawson? Don't think about it. Enzo hit a flying DDT, which was actually really cool. I think when he first debuted, I think even without Cass, that was his finisher. But he rolls up he hit that on Wilder and then turned around and rolled up Dawson for a 2 count. And then they got to the top rope, and it was so, so the Revival hit a top rope shatter machine, but it was like the guy who hits the knees, I can't remember which order it goes in, jumped off the top rope and then kind of caught Enzo on the way down. It was so weird because they've done a top rope shatter machine before where the guy who's lifting the guy is on the top rope, but I don't know if they've done that. Anyway, it was a very good match. There was great babyface shine. Enzo and Cass are great babyfaces and classic, double team heel heat. I gave it 3.5 stars. Then some generic motherfucker, I have no idea who that was, interviewed Natalya. Charlotte interrupts and calls Natalya a warm-up, and Natalya asks Charlotte to put the title on the line, which, news to me, I thought it was, Natalia calls them cowards, and Charlotte puts the title on the line, then disparages the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is like the 4th time they crowd pandered, I guess. So then we had Charlotte versus Natalia. It started with basic chain wrestling to start out with, Natalia often getting the upper hand. They then started trading submissions, including a very, very provocative looking body scissors. That was... I'm missing a lot of notes after that. No, I'm kidding. But it was a body scissors. And then a leg scissors, and then a half Boston Crab. Then Natalia hit a chop, and Charlotte has got the worst track record for falling on her face. I remember a little while back, she damn near broke her nose at a house show because she fell on her face, and she is just constantly hitting her face on the mat. It's terrifying. They really seem to be doing Ricky Steamboat's never take more than 5 moves without fighting back rule, because Natalia was, like, constantly, like, at least trying something. She would always, like, cut off Charlotte and then hit a move and then go for a second but get cut off. Really good, you know, I mean, Ricky Steamboat is the consummate babyface. Consummate? I don't think I used that word right. Doesn't matter. There was, like, one drawback was Charlotte put Natalia in a figure 4 for a very long time. Like, a real long time. I've even put here way too much stalling going on. Natalia rolls over after putting up a fight, and then they roll back and Natalia refuses, and Charlotte reaches the ropes and hangs down with Charlotte in the figure 8. So, like, kind of like how Brett used to use the ring post. She kind of did that in a way. Charlotte then got back in the ring, hit natural selection for 3 2 counts. She, like, tried over and over again. She then hit a exploder suplex and climbed up top for a moonsault, but Natalia grabbed her and did the sit-out powerbomb. It's actually pretty cool. Natalia gets up and locks Charlotte in the sharpshooter. Flair almost helps Charlotte get to the ropes, but Natalia gets up and punches him, and then Charlotte rolls her up for the 3 count. So, Charlotte won to retain. It was a very good match. Natalia is consistently one of the most underrated divas, in my opinion. It was the second best match of the night. I gave it 3.5 stars, which, yeah, that's fair. Wyatt comes out and cuts a promo, essentially making it a handicap match. It's good to see Luke Harper make it into the match. Actually, I got some news that the reason why it was a handicap match was that Bray Wyatt's back is really hurting. So that would explain why it was so bad. It was a terrible handicap match. It went 4 minutes. Lesnar went right after Luke Harper. Luke Harper got some offense in, but it was mostly just Lesnar German suplexing him and hitting him with an F5 for the 3 count. It was a good singles match, or an alright singles match, but just such a bad handicap match. They honestly would have been better with Bray Wyatt coming out and saying, like, I'm not fighting you, Luke Harper is. And just leave it there. You didn't need Bray Wyatt tagging out in the beginning. Just have him on the outside the whole time. So I gave it 2.25 star. Sami Zayn comes out, and then Stardust comes out. In any other setting, Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn could be a phenomenal match. But this one, it was just like, man, they turned... I mean, it's a glorified house show, so it doesn't exactly matter, but they turned Sami Zayn into just a guy, honestly. Like, Sami Zayn should have made quick work of Stardust. Because, I mean, let's face it, Stardust is a jobber anyways. Also, the really funny moment, you know, WWE has just been shitting on Colt Cabana ever since the podcast with CM Punk. And Stardust locked Sami Zayn in the Billy Goat's Curse, and the commentators are talking about how stupid that move is. They were like, you can't even sit down in it. What is the point of it? I feel like that was a direct, maybe not necessarily direct, but pretty much a direct, fuck you, Colt. Anyway, just a basic match with... So Stardust beat the shit out of him the whole time, and then just Zayn hit a couple of his finishes. He hit a tope, Blue Thunder Bomb, Stardust hit Disaster Kick, Zayn hit an Exploder Suplex, and into the corner, and hit the Haluva Kick for the win. It was a good nothing match. A good showing for Sami Zayn, but had no real purpose beyond that, so I gave it 2 stars. So they did a video promo for Dean Ambrose versus Triple H. Triple H comes out. They're getting ready for Dean Ambrose to come out, and he's like walking to the ring from backstage, but it feels so weird to see people do that without the NXT, like, steel cage lowering music. There was a strange split reaction from the crowd during this match. I have no idea why that might be. I mean, I don't even know. It was so weird. Well, anyway, they had this, like, aggressive feud, and then it just starts with chain wrestling. That was really weird. I mean, it's one of those things where you look back at it, the match went 25 minutes, so had they started with brawling, where could they have gone from there? But it was still really weird. Dean Ambrose got a lot of offense in. I expected him to sort of be like the cockroach going into this, like Triple H doing a lot of stuff, and Dean Ambrose just not taking the pin. But Dean Ambrose reversed a lot of pedigrees. He was really kind of working almost a heel style. But the match really, really picked up when Dean Ambrose went for Dirty Deeds. And, let's see, where is it in my notes here? Dean Ambrose hit the Dirty Deeds on Triple H for a 3 count, but Dean Ambrose's feet were underneath the ropes. So the referee was like, 1, 2, 3. No, wait, hold on. No. And the crowd erupted in cheers and then saw what happened and just an absolute onslaught of boos. It was awesome. So then Dean Ambrose was arguing with the referee and Triple H rolled him up for a 2 count with his feet on the second rope. Ambrose sends Triple H over the top rope and hits a suicide dive. Dean throws Triple H into the ring. Triple H gets out. Dean elbow drops him on the outside and does the suck it taunt while they're lying down. Dean puts Triple H on the table, breaks the count, gets back out, climbs onto the barricade, runs and does a diving elbow drop, but Triple H moves and Dean goes through the table. Triple H gets in the ring and the rest starts counting. Dean gets in at 9 and Triple H immediately pedigrees him for the pin. Or for the 3. For the pin. This was an amazing match. The start was real slow, so I wasn't exactly expecting much, but they built it up really nice. It's definitely an early match of the year contender. I don't know if, a month or 2 down the road it's still going to be a contender, but right now it is match of the year contender. I gave it 4 stars. Overall, I mean, it was a nothing show, really. I mean, aside from good wrestling, nothing really happened. They could have cut Jack Swagger and Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn and Stardust or moved those 2 to the dark match, and this could have easily been a 2-hour show instead of a 2.5-hour show. Because I think it's a 3-hour show, but then they just ended 30 minutes early, which is like some December to December level shit. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on the pay-per-view. Not really much else to say. Let me know if you guys like this. I don't know, I like to do stuff like this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below, also at Hmblittleman, and goodbye.